Okay, so I don't know where my webcam went. Usually, you guys can see me. Okay, I'll fix that before before next week. But now, look, you can see me again. This is great. So, what I would like for you to do, I would like for you to get a picture of yourself. It can be, a wonderful little glamour shot like what I've got here. Holding some some flowers, or it can be like a dumb selfie that you just took right now. So no stress either way. But we are going to do an illustrated version of ourselves. All right. So the way that I want you to do this illustrated version is we are going to limit ourselves to two different tools. Okay. So the only tool that you're going to be required to use for this initial little assignment is the pencil tool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to trace here with the pencil tool. And the great thing about the pencil tool, of course, is that when you mess up, like, look, that's not really the edge of my head. Okay, this sucks. All of those little bumps. Okay, somebody flatten out my head. What's going on up there? Okay, great. All right, that looks all right. Okay, cool. All right, so I've got that. I think I'm going to make this a whole new shape, so I'm not going to be worried about it. And I'll just connect right over here. And then I'm going to do like a beard, so that's not a big deal to me either. Okay. And then I think I'll just make the shirt in the background. Okay. So I'm really just drawing the very biggest shape that I can find first, you know? And actually, there's a couple of big shapes in this portrait, but it's not a big. Oh no, oh no, oh my goodness. Okay. All right. And you'll find that as you're working with your mouse, you'll, oh no, that was a mistake. Okay, Command C. All right. And let me just get this. Oh my God, this giant ear. Is this what my ears look like, you guys? Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Ooh, okay, did I do it? Yeah. Okay, so now I just need to correct that. Oh my goodness. Okay, great. All right, I got it. Okay, so now I have this shape, and then what I will do is I will use my bleep, bleep, my color selector here, which is just my eyedropper tool, and I'm gonna select a color that kind of feels like my skin tone. I guess it's not really. I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm less pink than that in real life, so I think I'm a little bit more like that. Okay, let's go with that. Okay. Um, all right. So now I've got this main big shape, and it's not perfect, but whatever. We're working through it. So now I am going to right click on my picture, right? So I'm selecting my picture, right clicking on my picture. I'm going to arrange the picture. I'm going to bring it to the front, and then I'm going to start working, and I'm going to say, okay, I have my base skin tone, but I can see that there's two different tones here. Oh my goodness. Is this my hand is I swear my hand used to be steadier than this. I feel like it's this mouse. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, are you guys like squirming in your chair watching me like mess up this drawing? Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, this is pretty good. Okay, so this is a significantly darker color on my face right here. This just like little part that's in the shadow. And the shadow is great because it's actually giving me a little bit of definition here. I've got the roundness of my head to consider. And then I also have, there's this little um, bump right here that defines my eye and my brow. And, my brow bone comes out a little bit more strongly than the rest of my face. Anyway, so I'm just drawing this right here, right? And I'm going to shorten that. Okay, great. And then what I'm going to do is I'll say, okay, I'm going to apply the same color that I selected before. And I'll select this and I'll just bring it down a little bit. Maybe significantly. I don't know. Let's see. So if I select my picture and I right click and I send it to the back, then I get a little preview of what I'm working with. Like, okay. That looks all right. And I'm going to add my beard right here. So that's okay that that's not covered. And so maybe next I'll do my shirt. Maybe next I can think about, there's some other darker shapes that are down here in my neck that kind of define separate my neck from my face as well. So I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more just because you guys aren't in class with me physically, and I feel like, um, it's helpful. I usually walk around and um, help people figure out what to do with their face. But since I'm not able to do that with you guys, let's see here. Okay, so I actually think there's a shadow here, and I'll sketch my glasses in later. But there's this, and there's this little part right here that's kind of like defining my nose. And so, really, though, what you want to be doing is you want to be thinking about not like, okay, here, I'll draw it over here for you guys. I think sometimes, and when we're in kindergarten, we learn to draw like this, right? We're like, okay, that's my, oh, let's give ourselves a line here. Come on. All right, so we're like, okay, fierce. That's my face. That's cool. And then I need an eye. And then here's my other eye. And then, it's inside of like a little weird hole in my face. And then I've got this like upside down chef's hat that is my nose. Oh, okay. Whatever. All right. And then I've got like, here are my lips, me and Marilyn Monroe with these amazing full lips, right? However, that's not how you draw. So if you haven't had your first drawing class with Professor Clutter yet, when you get to Professor Clutter's class, he's going to tell you you do not draw like with the contours of things unless you're doing a contour drawing, right? And you don't draw a face like this, right? You draw a face by sketching out the shadows and sketching out the various tonalities and building up tone until eventually your eyes look like they're receded on your face because they are. And your nose looks like it's protruding out from your face because it is. And, like usually your top lip is flat and your bottom lip is a little bit more rounded. And then for me, I have a beard, but you can even see my beard isn't one color. So for those of you gifted with hair, you'll be able to look at your hair and you'll say, oh my God, there's a million colors in my hair. Like, how am I ever going to figure out how to do that? So don't do this, right? Do this where you're figuring out, okay, here's a little shadow right here, and maybe we'll come back into our like little eye over here. We'll say, okay, here's a little shadow here that's like inside of the eye, and oh, okay, so it doesn't need to be. We don't need this. I don't want an outline. Okay, great. And then I'll come back in and start sort of like sketching the eye out over that. And then what else do we have? Oh, we have some neck action, don't we? Okay. And I think we even have a darker area of the neck. So like, okay, if I do this with the neck, I feel like the entire neck pretty much is darker than like the hot spot on my forehead. So let's do like this. blah, blah, blah. Okay, and bloop. And this actually is a little bit more tan or like a burnt orange or something, but I'm just going to keep with what I got. I'm just going to keep with what I got. Okay. And then that's going to look weird, so I'm not even going to show you guys that. I'm just going to come back up here to the beard. And then hopefully when I've done a little bit of the beard action. And I think I have like 3 colors in my beard. So I'm going to probably try to identify like a darker version of my beard, which is going to like really shape my chin. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. Which is like really going to shape my chin and like kind of be integrated into the shadow under my chin. Blah 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 blah. And then sometimes it even comes up a little bit denser right here, and then kind of comes down. And yeah, I think I'm gonna like sort of layer some different parts of brown to like create my, and then I'm kind of faking it here. It's not really that dark, but I think I want to have like a firm line at the bottom. Okay, cool. All right, and let's see what Photoshop predicts my beard color is. I guess that's all right. That's not the worst. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a preview of what's going to happen. Okay. All right, and my beard is still going to come forward a little bit, so that's still going to be covered. And then we can already see like my eyes are like starting to take shape. You know, my eye is going to be right there, and then I'll have my glasses on right here. And then after I'm done with the beard, I'll probably like cut out a little place for my mouth. But you can see the details of your face, which are like your nostrils, your eyes, and your pupils, and even your lips. All of those tiny little details are the very last thing that you work on, right? So you don't start with the details like over here. You slowly build up large variations of tone and hue. Tone is how much gray something has in it, and hue is the color, the actual color of what you're selecting. So you're just going to build things up on top of each other, you know, as much as you can stand. And you can see how frustrating this process can be. But, you know, you just put on like your favorite, you know, CD, your favorite album. And, you know, if you're old enough, you can like pour yourself a little glass of wine or have a beer and just chill and keep the kids in the other room or let them run around behind you and just draw shapes that you see, shapes that you find. And the more and the longer that you look, the more and more shapes of tone you'll see in your face. And the more of those tones that you build up, the more realistic your face is going to look. Okay. And just one final tip. I want to let you guys know that, let's say, okay, what should I do? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is there's this little part where my hair grows, and it is kind of making my scalp look a little bit more gray or look a little bit more neutral than the rest of my face. Like the rest of my face is a little bit more like reddish or pink or you know, something like peach, maybe even some brown, but this is like gray, you know, because of my hair coming in, it looks kind of neutral. Okay, so I'm just getting, oh no, I overcorrected. Okay, great. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so if I use my eyedropper tool to select something, right? Then it gives me this color right here. And I might decide once I look at that color on top of the other skin color that that's not the right color. Okay. You can see how insanely dark that is, right? And what I want is I want this color, but I want it a little bit more gray and maybe a little bit darker, maybe. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my eyedropper tool. I'm going to select this color and then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to say, okay, I just want you a little bit grayer. Like, so I'm going to pull you down into the gray a little bit more. And maybe even that's too much for me. Maybe I want it even a little bit lighter. So what I'm saying is use the eyedropper tool to sort of collect a sample of the color and get an idea of what the color should be. But don't be afraid to change that color based on what you have already decided your other skin tone is going to be, right? Okay, that's my last piece of advice. And just keep finding new shapes, work it up further and further and further and further, and then eventually it'll start to look pretty good.